It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be the Republican nominee for lieutenant governor. Our family has worked so hard for the last 18 months to get our message out. We were not the next person in line to be the next lieutenant governor, and we told that message everywhere we went. And we appreciate the support of so many folks across this state who believed in us and gave us this opportunity to join such a great team. I still have to pinch myself. I got to do it 2 days in a row, speak right after the next governor of the state of Georgia, Brian Kemp, and it's an honor for our family. My story to politics is different. It's probably very similar to many of your stories, why you're paying attention to politics. I didn't get into politics to meet new friends or to pad my resume. I got into politics to make a difference. I walked into a church just a few exits north of here in Alpharetta 8 years ago and was challenged to just stop complaining and start getting involved. Right? We've all gotten so good at picking on the issues that bother us, right? Whether it be education, and we complain about teachers and principals and curriculum, but too many Americans aren't spending time with their own kids at their own kitchen table, taking on that personal responsibility. We complain about too many politicians bankrupting our governments, and they are. No doubt about it, they are. But too many of us are bankrupting ourselves, spending money on things we can't afford. And so the call to action in that service was stop complaining and go find your niche. Right? Go make a difference with your own family, in your own business, in your community, or go run for office. Apparently I was the only one who took the bait. Walk out in the parking lot and I look at Brooke, my wife, and I said, honey, we're going to run for office. And she gave me a look I haven't seen too many times before. But so we ran and we got into the state house, and I got to serve with great folks, and Lynn Riley was a great friend, and I jumped into the General Assembly and I realized this right off the bat. I wanted to be good at policy, and I wanted to ignore the politics as much as possible. If I was going to make the difference that my family expected me to make, and the folks that were supporting me were the difference they wanted me to make, I had to focus on the policy. So I came up with some big ideas from scratch. One was the Cargo Theft Act. Many of your businesses ship millions of dollars worth of cargo across the state lines or through the state here in Georgia. Organized crime had picked on us to steal those expensive truckloads of cargo, and so I wrote a bill that said this: if you steal $1 million or more of cargo in Georgia, you go to jail for 20 years. In 1 year, we watched cargo theft go down 68% in the state of Georgia. Thank you. I had a reporter come to me and say, Representative Duncan, you keep saying this bill just does so much to change Georgia, but aren't these criminals just going to other states? This was not my finest moment, but I said, mission accomplished. The next bill, and I want to thank Commissioner Riley now in this role for helping out. I wrote a rural health care bill. Many of you have heard from your CPA over the last 12 months about an opportunity to invest in a rural hospital. The tax credit's a $60 million a year tax credit that allows you to write a check directly to a rural hospital. And in return, you get 100% tax credit. The best part about this bill, and I think the most conservative part of this bill, this is something I want to champion as your lieutenant governor, is that there's no strings attached. This $60 million is showing up to these 54 rural hospitals that don't know even if they can meet the next payroll with no strings attached, right? Their communities know how to serve their community better than somebody sitting in a cube in downtown Atlanta. And so it really opens up. I want to challenge this community because I know that your hearts are in the right place and you are so involved in your community to partner with me in a way that says, let's challenge churches and synagogues and corporations and citizens and charities to be more involved in the problems that we face here in Georgia, right? To dive into those issues of poverty, those issues that are adoption and foster care and homelessness and hunger and even health care for low-income individuals. Let's challenge what I call the 4 C's to be more engaged in solving those problems because you're better at it. I know that if you get engaged in a problem in your community, you're going to bring things like innovation, volunteerism, and probably most importantly, exit strategy. And so as Lieutenant Governor, I'm going to look for every possible way to leverage the talents and resources of your community and other communities to solve those problems. Because it's not just to solve our issues here in Georgia, but it's to be an example to 49 other states and to a federal government that still unfortunately thinks they're the solutions to every problem. I want to challenge us to do that. I don't think Georgia's ready for any liberals to be in control of our state government. I just don't think we're there. I think this state, the rooms I walk into, the communities I walk into, care too much about innocent lives care too much about smaller government instead of bigger government, care too much about lowering taxes instead of looking for ways to increase taxes. That's just the feeling I get everywhere I go. But unfortunately, we're not just running against Democrats in Georgia. We're running against Democrats, as Brian alluded to, all over this country, including Hollywood. And they're coming with everything they've got. Because this is the battleground right here in Georgia. We have unfortunately drawn the card of the battleground. But you know what? I'm going to look at this as the glass is half full. This is the battleground, and we're going to prove that we're right. We're going to prove that our ideas and our conservative policies are so good, they even help, don't tell anybody this, they even help the people who don't vote for us. Right? Our ideas of smaller government, lower taxes, understanding how we empower communities to better educate K through 12, to create not just a future for those kids, but a future for those local governments and for those local communities. And so we're going to work hard. Got 72, 73 days? Somebody up here, 73 days to go. I'm going to give it everything I've got. I'm going to go to every community, and I'm going to focus, and y'all live your lives around the 10% in the middle, right? We're right in that battleground, the 10% in the middle that decide too many of these elections. But here's what I want to do. I want us as a community to remind the 10% in the middle here in Georgia that we're a party of solutions, right? We're a party of solutions. We want them to go to the ballot box that morning and say, you know what? These Republicans are better educating our kids. They're cutting our taxes. They're prioritizing transportation. They're looking for ways to remove regulations from the way of my business. I'm going to vote for them again. That's what we need to do. And we need to send a message to every single liberal group that wants to come into Georgia and flip our election and tell them to get out. Go find somebody else to pick on. Close with this. If you consider yourself a conservative, you're going to be proud to watch these people up on stage go to work every single day down under the Gold Dome. God bless this great state. Thank you.